Is it juicy?
It is Monday, December the 4th, 2023. I am James. You are you. We are here for another festive edition of the show that will not, nor can ever go away. Of course, we're talking about At Home with James live on the world's nerdiest internet website, Of course, it's Twitch, and the URL is twitch.tv/athomewithjames. Moments before getting on air, my computer decided to give me problems. Now, for those of you who can't see, and of course, why would you? I'm usually able to see the guests, our production side of things. I can't see anything right now. My computer is in a perpetual state of frozenness. I'm on a MacBook Air. The wheel is spinning. I don't know what's happening. I'm not sure what to do. At some point, this episode might just crash. But doesn't that happen every week when Dave is teching? It's almost like the spirit of Dave is festively haunting tonight's episode, but he is not in the booth tonight. Dimitri Kirez, the one and only, is handling the production side of things from his directorial chair. What are we doing on tonight's episode? We're going to get quaint. We're going to get cozy, because tonight is a very Conto Christmas. What does that mean? To first-time viewers, you might be scratching your head asking, what does a very Conto Christmas mean? To longtime viewers, you know that Conto is the last name of legendary guest on this show, Joe Conto. It's just going to be me. It's just going to be Joe one-on-one for the next hour or so, talking about a variety of festive topics. So if you're asking yourself out there along the information superhighway that people in the 90s used to refer to the internet as, why are we waiting, James? I think that's a great question. And the answer is, we shall wait no longer. Let us welcome tonight's one and only guest. He's been here since the beginning, and he's here tonight to bask in the Yuletide glow. It's Joe Conto. Joe, welcome back to the program.
Hello,
Joe. You had me. Joe, you had me scared there for a second. I could not see you. You had me scared.
My mouse wouldn't work.
Okay, so you and I are both having technological problems tonight.
Yeah.
Well, Joe,
I'm good though. I'm good.
Well, I'm happy to have you here tonight. I wish I could see you. I cannot. I can see nothing on my end right now.
Oh, no kidding. So we're like basically on a phone call.
Yeah. This is kind of like old-fashioned, as if I was hosting a radio show and you're a guest who is coming to us remotely.
I'll tell you why this is too bad, because while I was waiting for you, I opened up a desk drawer and I came across some old pictures of me, and I thought I might show them at some point if you had any interest in seeing a younger Joe Conto.
Well, I'll tell you what, we can, but there's a couple conditions. One, are they festive?
Oh yeah, they're like at weddings and stuff, and I have a goatee in one of them.
I'm going to tell you something, Joe.
I've
got the show playing on my phone right now, so anything that you want to show, you'll be able to do so.
Good.
So we'll be able to make it work. We're up against the elements tonight, but I wouldn't have it any other way with you in the foxhole.
Yeah, I agree.
Joe, how's the holiday season been treating you so far?
Well, I get real busy in the next few days because it's finals at school. Mm-hmm. And so I haven't really thought Christmas at all, though I'll tell you what I'm doing this weekend. Mm-hmm. I'm going to Lake Placid. No, I'm living in Lake Placid, excuse me. I'm going to Montreal, and I'm visiting all the Christmas markets on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
I'm buying each of my family members the same thing, a box full of Montreal, like food souvenirs. Yep. And because some people live in Texas, some in Colorado, some right here in the North Country of New York State. But everybody's getting, well, you tell me, what do you think? And this has, like, I can't buy smoked meat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what things do you think that's going to go in the box?
Well, it's interesting, Joe, because we're going to be talking about a variety of topics tonight, and gifts was one of the things that I had on tap in terms of, because look, is it fair to say that people come to you for advice a lot of the time?
Yeah.
I wanted to treat this episode as sort of a Ask Joe Anything, so to speak, as it relates to the holiday season, in which people might have inquiries or conundrums and what they can do. And I've broken it up into a series of categories. And I feel like this is a great place to start, which is gifts. Now, when it comes to Montreal gifts, I feel like you can't go wrong with a bit of maple syrup.
Exactly. They're going to get the iconic Quebec can of maple syrup.
I like buying gifts at the Atwater Market a lot. There's a good nut merchant there.
Yep.
I think that's good. You can get a lot of nice jellies, jams, breads, patisseries.
They're going to get They're going to get a confiture of some sort.
Yes, I
For
love a
sure.
confiture.
Oh, for real. Like
Yes.
it is better. I think probably strawberry rhubarb or blueberry, something
Yep.
like that. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Now,
Mhm.
what about a meat pie and or otherwise known as a tortillere?
I can't. I'm going to get that. I will get that for Malone because I just
Mhm.
drive down there, but
Yep.
I can't confidently send that in the mail.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Joe, I wanted to ask you again. We're kind of getting your advice on certain things tonight. Do you think there's a kind of a do's or don'ts list that people should apply when it comes to gift giving during the holiday season?
Yeah, you know what you shouldn't do. People
Hmm.
do this sometimes, or you know what? My sister-in-law, who's from Long Island, and I think this might be from there.
Yep.
She would get me something that was like vaguely what I want, but then
Yep.
she would include the receipt and basically say, "Here, this may not be the color or the size that you want or need, but here's the receipt, and you can just go and exchange it."
Yeah,
And
it's
I don't.
interesting that people feel liberal in doing that because I do think that it is important to hold on to receipts from time to time. But when the gift comes with the receipt, because a lot of us spend time peeling the price tags off of things.
Sure. Yeah. And also it's just giving me a chore because I don't like to go shopping. I'm not a shopper. So then be like, here, now you have to go. And she would purchase it at like Macy's in Albany. You
Hmm.
know where the closest Macy is to me in Lake
Where's that?
Placid? Albany. And so it's 2.5 hours away.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna.
Okay, so do you think there's a secret to gift giving during the holiday season to satisfy people and not stress yourself out along the way?
Yeah.
Because it's a very stressful time of year.
You have to listen for the whole year. You have to
Yes.
be on alert for the whole year.
Hmm.
And you have to listen to what they mention, not to what they ask for, what they mention,
Yeah.
and make a note and find that.
How do you feel about people putting together Christmas wish lists? Because I feel like that's for children.
I'm asked to do it every year,
Mhm.
and I put together for my nephews and my sister,
Yep.
um, and I put down 5 things, and my
Yep.
nephew, and look, I'm 58, he's in his 30s. The kid
Yep.
goes, everything else was taken. All I have left is socks, and I don't want to get you socks. So what
Yeah.
else am I going to get you? And I thought, I don't know. There's nothing special about this. I already know
Yeah.
exactly what I'm going to get because I'm a very specific. When
Yeah.
somebody asks me what I want, I ask for it specifically.
Yeah.
And, so now I know exactly what I'm going to get for Christmas. And the other side is I don't need anything. You know?
Yes. Well, at a certain point, you do. None of us need anything if you've got a fairly okay income, and I don't mean that to be braggadocious because I don't think having an okay income is braggadocious.
No, it's okay. Yeah,
If you get by, anything that I want, I can buy.
certainly. And I
And
don't
there,
want
there,
that much. I
yeah.
have a very nice,
Yes.
simple life. James, that I've gotten into a thing because I live in a small home that I've gotten into a thing where if something new comes in, something else has to leave. I'm not
Yes.
going to add one more item
Hmm.
to my home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter what it is, but if something comes in, something goes out.
Are you pro wish list?
No,
Okay, so you're anti wish list.
I don't know that I'm anti-wish list. For some people, they work, but like I said, I listen to you for the whole year,
Yeah.
and I know what you want, but you have forgotten that you have interest in it, and I'm going to give you something that you have forgotten you are interested in, and you're going to be really happy and excited when you open it up.
Do you think there's any fail-safe gifts that are good for almost anyone, kind of de facto gifts that you can get for people?
Yeah, I think food.
Mhm.
Edibles are real, not edibles meaning edibles, though maybe
Let's
that
remember,
too.
this is a kid's show.
Yeah, but I think if you can get them food that they're not going to get otherwise,
Yeah.
it provides a sense of place, and
Yeah.
it stirs memory, and it has a level of authenticity.
Yes.
For
Now,
instance,
yeah.
my nephews in Colorado and Texas, for instance, I'm going to get them those maple leaf cream cookies,
Yep.
and they're only a few bucks,
Yep.
But they can't. They actually can't get them there. I guess they could order them through Amazon or something, but they really can't get them there. And it's something that my dad, their papa, used to get them when they were little kids.
That's very
So,
sweet. So
yeah.
you're getting a nostalgic gift that's also you're going to use.
Exactly. And they were crazy about their grandpa. So it's yeah. So I think that kind of stuff is great.
Well, I think that's what's enjoyable about the holiday season. If you can give someone a gift that makes them feel you're talking about, like a gift that will remind them of their grandfather.
Yeah. And it says, I know you.
Have you received any gifts like that over the years that have touched you in that type of way?
Oh yeah, my mom was really, really good at gift giving. You know what she did one year actually was she got there were 4 kids, and she got each of us kids a gift that when we were little, we didn't have any money when we were little, and she got us each a present that.
Were you aware of it as a kid or no?
I didn't know I was poor until my brother told me I was poor.
He came out as poor.
Yeah. It was not because we were all altar boys, and these high school kids who were also altar boys go, yeah, we'll give you a ride. And they lived up near the golf course, and I was so excited that I was going to pull up to my house in a car driven by high schoolers, and I was going to get out, and I was going to be so excited that other people on the street saw me getting out of a car that wasn't our car, driven by 2 cool kids from high school. And then my brother goes, no, just drop us off here at the end of the street. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? This is my what do you call that? My red carpet.
Yeah.
And so we get out, and I look at him, I go, what was that all about? He goes, I didn't want them to see where we live. And I go, why? And he goes, Joey, he called me Joey, we're poor. And I went,
what were you thinking at that moment?
I'll tell you, because I looked at our house, which I loved. I loved our house. My grandparents lived upstairs, and it was tiny, but I could crawl under the stairs. I liked it there. And all of a sudden, I swear, it was like everything changed. I looked at it and went, oh my God, that's a shitty house.
Do you remember how you felt in that moment? Like knowing that this place that you love has now changed from positive to negative? Yeah,
it was like all of a sudden I noticed that it was shitty, meaning physically it was still the best. And then all this stuff that, like, I'm going to do a spoiler now for The Sixth Sense. Did you ever see The Sixth Sense?
No, and I will not. I don't care.
Okay. Here's the deal. At the end, you find out that everybody turn off your volume if you don't want to be loyal. That Bruce Willis has been dead the whole time, and he's a ghost, right? So, at any rate, and then all of a sudden they do these flashbacks. Oh my God, clues. And that's how I felt. I was like, we have powdered milk. We had to save up to fix the leg on the dining room.
All the pieces started coming together.
And I went, oh my God, of course I'm poor.
This sounds like it's like as you were looking at your house and the puzzle pieces came together, I imagine this is your Wonder Years moment where the monologue, like, we were poor, but how could we be poor? Both of my parents had a job, and then the birds
exactly
start playing in the background. To everything turn. Yeah.
I was like, no wonder we have pancakes for dinner so much, right?
Now, and how does this relate to your mom being a good gift giver?
So when we were older, she gave each of us a present we asked for when we were a kid that they couldn't afford. But it was real nice. My sister got an Easy Bake Oven. Yeah. I got a Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah.
Yep, we all got the thing that we wanted, and it was great. We were so excited when we opened it, not only because it was just funny, but also that, like, our mom remembered that all those years later.
Yeah, and that's nice. Now you get to share that memory.
Yeah.
Do you still have the Mr. Potato Head?
Of course I do. Shit, where is it? It's around here somewhere. I still have it, sure.
It's there somewhere.
Well, yes, it might be.
All right. Well, Joe, you talked about how
I know exactly
you just got to listen. You got to listen all year. People have told me that I'm hard to shop for. Joe, what would you buy me for Christmas?
Well, I don't know that you're that hard to shop for. I mean, look, you could go easy with you and get something like, Coca-Cola related
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I don't often always like the Coke things people buy me.
No. Why would you? You know what? I think I could go into a what is it? Village Valeur or what
Sure,
is it?
a thrift store, Value Village or Renaissance,
and buy like a vintage something. Like I would, I think I could get you a cool vintage T-shirt that you'd really like, something like that. Or like I'm going to Mexico in January. I could see myself getting a shirt with a I might have already purchased this for you.
You have done this, yes.
Did I bought you a shirt with a Lucha Libre or whatever it is. Yeah, I can see myself getting you something wrestling related, but not American wrestling related. Something like that. Or I would buy you like Dr. Pepper, but a kind that you couldn't get in Canada, you can only get in the United States.
Oh, sure. I like any type of experimental American soda.
Yeah, candy or soda or something like that you can only get in the States. Yeah.
These are all great ideas.
Or you know what? I would get you a really great Christmas ornament.
Oh, great idea.
That speaks to you. Yeah.
Yep. That's those are all incredible ideas.
Thank you.
Have you received a gift that you thought was particularly bad?
Yeah. My sister doesn't really know me.
Sure.
And for years, she knew that I had a desk.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning I worked like I was a GM like at country clubs and stuff like that. So she would get me desk stuff.
Yeah.
She thought, because she was a nurse, so I don't think she never had a desk, like an office. Like I had an office.
Desk stuff. You mean like desk ornaments, like the bird that dips into the water, or a little cactus? Yeah.
Yeah, not that, but what is it? Newton's Cradle. Those series of metal balls that will click clack. She got me that fucking thing.
Yeah.
She got me a nameplate. I don't work at I'm not a bank president.
Yeah.
Like I don't work at a desk where
you won't be with that attitude.
I don't have clients that come to my desk and it was just the place where I got work done.
Yeah.
So she would often get me that sort of stuff. And I think thoughtless gifts I'm not crazy about. I also don't like gift cards. I don't.
Yeah, I don't mind receiving them, but I don't like buying them unless it's an accessory. It's never going to be the gift, right? It might be, oh, I got you this shirt. Maybe I got you this other thing, a pair of slippers. Oh, and guess what? Here's also $20 to Tim Hortons or something like that. I don't want it to be the primary gift. Ever.
Okay, here's the deal. If it is a gift certificate to or a card to Starbucks or to something that they know I go to frequently, I don't mind that because at least it says, I know your routine. I know.
Yeah, here's a month of free coffee.
Got it.
Yeah. And if it's just generic, I remember the big generic one here would be an HMV gift card. HMV was just like a CD store.
Yeah.
And it would be like, okay, I remember one year getting one, not using it all year, then the next Christmas using it to procure gifts.
Yeah, to give away.
Yeah.
Yes, or like agreed. An Old Navy.
Oh, that would be horrible.
Yeah. I have received that and I thought, you don't. Or you know what else is a bummer? It's a food gift, but it's the most generic food gift. You must have them in Canada. Hickory Farms?
We do not know.
But do you know what a Hickory Farms is?
No, I don't.
Oh, it's this kiosk that they put in the middle of the shopping mall during Christmas. You must have something like this. And they, it's like a cardboard crate. And it might have like a block of sealed, cheddar cheese and also a summer sausage and a wheel of spreadable, that
Yeah.
they roll in nuts, and
Got
maybe
it.
a box of crackers, and it's all like in phony.
It's almost like a charcuterie to go.
Right, but it is completely mass produced
Okay.
because they have them in every mall across America. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It's like the Gap of charcuterie,
Got it. Understood.
and it's like a jar of generic mustard,
Yeah.
a stick of generic pepperoni,
Yeah.
and it's just to me, it's just like you don't know.
Look, I'll tell you
Eat cheese,
what,
you
as someone
get-
who doesn't have Hickory Farms, it sounds pretty good.
I know it does sound good, but it is the thing that
I'm
if you don't
dropping
know
hints
what,
for this Christmas, Joe.
and they're open late on Christmas Eve. It's just the
Oh,
like,
for all the deadbeat dads.
yeah. Though I'll tell you what, one time I did walk by a Hickory Farms, and a girl was getting interviewed to work at Christmas at Hickory Farms for the Christmas
Sure.
season, and it was just two folding chairs there in the middle of the floor of the mall. And as I walked by, the woman was talking to her, and she was being all. She had a great big, when I say a big gulp.
Yep.
She had a big gulp, and her boyfriend was standing next to her. I thought, this is a weird sitch.
Yeah. Merry
Anyway,
Christmas, everyone.
yeah, and I went and I got an Auntie Anne's pretzel, and on my way back, I heard her being let down that she was not going to get the job at Hickory Farms, that she wasn't Hickory Farms material.
Right.
And
Wow.
the girl says, "Why not?" Real sour. And the woman says, "Well, for one thing, I know that you have vodka in your big cup there."
Oh,
And she looks at her boyfriend. She goes, "You said vodka didn't smell." Isn't that great?
let's move on to the next topic. We've discussed this.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, James.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
so
people
sad.
who are looking to sneak spirits inside of their beverages this holiday season at
Work
job
at Hickory
interviews.
Farms, I swear.
What do you think about the way we celebrate Christmas in our places of work? Is there an ideal way to do it and ways to avoid it?
Politely on Christmas Eve or whenever, say "Merry Christmas to one and all," and then you go home and have
Specifically in that voice? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
And
Merry
then you
Christmas.
leave and people go, "Hey, was Joe just doing a Cosby impression?"
No, that wasn't Cosby. That was
Hey, have a Merry Christmas, Joe. You too have a Merry Christmas. I gotta go back to Malone.
Puddin' Pops. No, it's Jimmy Stewart.
Oh, sure,
from
yes.
It's a Wonderful Life. When he goes, "Merry Christmas, you broken down old building in Lone."
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter. Merry Christmas, Mary. Where's
Now
Mary?
it sounds like you're doing like stoner teen. Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're basically saying avoid all work-related, Christmas-related work events.
I guess that's not true. At my workplace, there's a quite a big deal. Like we call it a Yankee swap. I don't know.
Yes. Yep.
Where everybody brings a wrapped gift, and also everybody has to bring a dish to pass.
Yep.
And right now, and you have to sign up. It's pretty complicated. You have to sign up to basically say, "I swear I will be there," and then you have to say what you're going to.
I'm going to bring the jalapeno dip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or deviled eggs or whatever.
Ooh, sign me up, s'il vous plaît, monsieur.
The hockey coach at school brings deviled eggs every year, and I'm going to tell you, they're good. But here's the thing: I realized this today. Each person brings enough to probably feed 8 people. Right?
Yeah, this is a big issue I have anytime I throw a barbecue or if I've done something in my apartment. I will ask people, like, please don't bring a lot of what you're bringing. And the reason is I get stuck with it. And there's nothing I dislike more than a fridge full of leftovers.
Everything is in a 9x12 pan.
Yes. Yeah.
And so we have 36 people there, but each person has brought enough for 8. So I'm not good at math, but 8 times 36. That's
a lot of portions.
Yeah, that's enough for 280 people.
Yeah.
Think about that number of people that we're able to feed.
And is it mostly a lot of similar things like potato salad, egg salad?
It's all a casserole.
Yeah.
Have a word and then just say casserole.
Right. Tuna.
Casserole. cheesy potato casserole,
Ham.
ham casserole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you bringing this year, Joe?
I'll tell you what I'm bringing. I'm bringing a whole stack of recyclable clamshell containers.
Oh, sure.
And I have everybody's name on one that I've written in sparkle pen, and I'm handing those out, and I'm saying, take some food home. I'm giving them. I'm not bringing any food, but I'm bringing them away.
Takeaway containers.
Takeaway containers. And
I was really hoping that you were going to say a stack of Kraft singles.
Oh, pre-wrapped. That's not bad.
Yeah, pre-wrapped Kraft singles.
Because that would feed 16 people.
In a Ziploc bag with 2 soda biscuits.
Oh, so everybody gets
a Kraft single and 2 crackers, and then you leave and people go, I think Joe's fallen on hard times.
I think he's crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
And as you exit the banquet hall, underneath your shoe stuck to it is one of the Ziploc bags with the crackers and the Kraft.
No, people notice that instead of a sock, I'm wearing one of the Ziplocs.
Yeah, you're wearing Ziploc bags with socks.
Somebody noticed I go, laundry day.
Oh, there's nothing I love more than a Joe hypothetical, I don't think, on this program. I'm crying thinking about you leaving and people talking about you.
Yeah. Oh.
Your nightmare.
No, my nightmare. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but they're not talking about you for the right. They're pitying you.
Oh, I wouldn't like that.
How do you feel about the Yankee swap? This is something that I think really rose to prominence because of that Office episode from season 2 where Michael turns you pick a name, you buy the gift, he turns it into Yankee swap or a nasty Christmas, whatever you want to call it. I quite like it when you know that's what you're doing. It's fun.
Oh yeah. One time I worked at a restaurant where we had Yankee swap. And me and my pal Delaney each just bought a case of beer, and we wrapped up the case of beer, and that was our Yankee swap. And the people who opened it, we were all working at this restaurant, and it was a pretty rowdy crowd. People fucking loved getting a case of beer for Christmas.
Yeah, I've given single tall cans of beer for Yankee swap, as well as Secret Santa, getting a name, giving them a big can of beer, and a lotto ticket to go with it. I call that the deadbeat gift.
And I would do that, and I would also get a 3-pack of cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
Do they sell those in Canada, 3-pack?
I don't believe that they do. Is it just 3 cigarettes in a pack?
Yeah. You can't buy them
for the budget smoker.
I don't know that they sell them anymore, but they used to sell them in New York State. You couldn't buy them in Vermont. So yeah. Oh no, they started the no smoking thing way before New York State.
You know, I was looking into it today. Quebec only banned smoking indoors in 2006, and I thought even that feels quite late.
Oh, it really was. Yeah.
I think that in Quebec they should have one day a year where you allow it.
Oh, like the purge.
Yes. Yeah, I was talking with my mother on the phone today, and she was saying that she has a friend who, from that day, never went to another restaurant again because she denounces the smoke. Has not been to a restaurant since 2006.
17 years.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yes.
Well, good.
It's admirable.
I'm sure she wasn't great to be around. Yeah.
No. It says a lot when you're going to put an embargo on restaurants because they won't let you light up a cigarette after your chicken dinner at St. Hubert Barbecue.
When I was in college, we would judge whether or not we were going to go into a bar based on how smoky it was.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, first person would go in, they'd be like, "Oh, fuck it, we're not going in there." And we'd be like, "Why?" They go, "Look, it's not even smoky."
Yeah.
That meant nobody was there. When I was when I was a little kid, I thought my parents. This is being poor again. My parents would be invited to a wedding, and they would bring back instead of eat their wedding cake at the wedding, they would wrap it in napkins and bring it back as a treat for the kids.
Well, that's very nice.
Oh no, it was real sweet. I had the best parents that way. They always were thinking about us.
Yeah.
But they also left us alone to live our own lives. They understood the balance. Anyway, and then they would cut the cake, and there would be 4 pieces. We'd each get a piece. But in my head, because everybody smoked at the wedding, and the wedding cake smelled like tasted like cigarette smoke, but also cake.
Yeah.
I was under the impression from a very young age that wedding cake, that traditionally wedding cake was smoky for some reason.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
There was some sort of.
It comes with a cured flavor.
Yeah, there was this ancient tradition that wedding cake is smoked. And as an adult, I went to a wedding once, and people go, "Oh, the cake's good," and I go, "Well, it's not wedding cake." And they said,
"Wait, as an adult?"
Yeah. Oh, college,
Okay.
And I was like, I mean, it doesn't taste like a wedding cake. They're like, it tastes exactly like a wedding cake.
Yeah.
And I said, no, where's the smoke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've discussed that. I want to you brought up your parents, and we touched on your family a little earlier. I want to talk about family around the holidays. When the holidays come up, do you spend time thinking about your family, the people that aren't with us anymore, reminiscing, getting a little nostalgic?
Do I? Well,
a lot of people do around the holidays.
Yeah, I know. I guess I don't. Now look, here's the secret. My dad died on December 23rd. So I don't, right? Yeah, so I can't, I can't pick at that scab too much.
Sure.
But at the same time, like my nephews were real crazy about their grandpa. So I mentioned him, you know what I mean? And he was a quirky guy, but in the best possible way. So you can always be like, "Oh, Papa would love this," sort of thing. So I do talk about him a lot. So my nephews don't feel like it's off limits or anybody else.
That's a very sweet gesture.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah,
but I'm not like, oh, the good old days. I'm not that kind of person.
No. Well, what's interesting to hear that, Joe, because I do think that you do have a lot of fondness for the good old days.
In general, well, I have a lot. I'm blessed with a really, what would you call it? A really vivid memory. Like I can close my eyes and tell you exactly what my first grade classroom looked like.
Sure.
Right down to like the number line and everything. So I tend to remember everything. What's the word? Viscerally.
Yep.
I guess. And I enjoy the reminiscence of it. But I'll tell you what. I had a friend in college who was Japanese, and he talked about this term. I forget the term, unfortunately, but the concept of almost toxic nostalgia.
Sure. Which I think is a thing for sure.
For sure. And so he always kind of talked about it, about like warning people not to get too sucked into this nostalgic feel.
I agree with that.
There's also a term in Japanese culture that celebrates the idea of a painful memory that can make you smile if you let it.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I think there's something certainly to be said about taking those sad memories and finding a way to laugh or something of the sort.
Yeah. Or just, I don't know. So there. But, I can, how am I trying to put it? I think I could slip into being sad if I didn't watch myself. So
sure.
I don't do that.
All right. So just some healthy self-regulating.
Yeah.
All right. What about for people that like around the holidays and people like, oh, I got to go home and see my family. And at certain points, I think we've all been that person. But as I've grown older, I think to myself, like, well, do you mean this? Or is this just a thing that you have to say? Because, when you're there, sure, anyone could be kind of a pain in the arse, as they might say in Western Canada from time to time. But it seems like kind of a petty thing to be a grouch about. And look, it's far be it for me to be judgmental. And we all maybe need to watch certain things that we say from time to time, but the people that say that stuff might be saying it to people that would love nothing more than to get a chance to go be annoyed by their family.
My old secretary at the club, at the one country club I ran, Mickey Miller. Mickey Miller was the best. Anyway, I could go on and on about Mick. The Mick. She called herself the Mick. Mm-hmm. Her name was Maureen, but they called her the Mick as a kid, so she still calls herself Mickey Miller. And when I said that one time, oh, I got a blah blah blah, she called me Joseph. She was always chastising me. She'd say, Joseph, Joseph, this is like I'd say, oh God, the weather. She'd go, Joseph, this is a glorious day made by God. She would say that kind of thing. Anyway, when I said I have to do something, she'd say it again, but say it like you get to. So when and I caught myself doing it. So if they say, oh, I got to go home for Christmas, I go, I get to go visit my family for Christmas.
Yeah.
Or it is a really great lesson to teach yourself. Because even recently I was going to do a show in Montreal, and it's a schlep for me. And so he said, what are you doing this weekend? I said, oh, I got to do a show Saturday. And then I corrected myself, the old Mickey Miller way. I go, I get to do a show Saturday. Jesus, remember there was a time where somebody asked you to be in a show? I would have wet my pants, I get to sit in the green room or whatever, and then get up there. And how dare I not say what a treat this is.
Yeah.
I'm going to see my family, Jesus.
I'm curious to know if you have any advice for people that maybe have a tough time with their family during the holidays, of how to cope during those headache moments.
Yeah. My friend Joya Di Cristina said there's something called loving indifference. And when somebody is complaining and going like that, whatever, when my mom was around, she, everything was Trump, Trump, Trump. And that crazy president, I don't know. And Joya taught me that you could just look at somebody and just go, loving indifference. Oh, that's what you think.
Yeah.
And I don't, and not like I don't care, meaning, fuck you. But I don't care, like, oh, I don't feel that way.
Yes.
Yeah. Now look, it's hard. And I don't know that I'm great at it. But advice isn't about what I do. Advice is what I think would work, and it has when I've done it. And loving indifference is a great way to do it. If you can just sort of float above it and say, I don't feel that way, and that means nothing.
Yeah.
You're not a lawmaker. It's not like they can, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Change the world with their opinion.
So that's the advice if people are getting drugged down by their family during the Christmas season this year.
Loving indifference. Float above it.
Now, in like Christmas specials or movies or what have you, oftentimes there'll be that moment where the whole family's by the tree listening to music in silence. Did you ever have that? I never had that.
No. I grew up in a very sort of rowdy house.
Right. It was more rambunctious and gregarious.
Yeah, we were jumping around a lot, like dancing on the coffee table, or people trying to. There was a lot of, look at me.
Yeah.
You know me. I had to be.
Yeah, showboating, hot dogging.
We were all hot dogging.
Yeah.
My sister would come out and like she would do a Cher impression. She'd run into like on Christmas. She had these pajamas one year that somebody got, and they were like real flowy. And she must have been, I don't know, 11. And I remember right in the middle of the whole thing, she comes right into the living room, and she was doing an impression of like mid 1970s Cher, putting her hair behind her ear and stuff. Oh, we had a lot of fun.
Was it a song or just like little teenager talking like Cher?
I think she was just sort of jumping around, clapping and moving her hair like.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
I remember that closely. It's just a vague memory, I guess, that one.
I want to move on to the next one. This is a huge one around the holiday season, disappointment. So we're gonna slow it down for a second. Joe, you and I both had some holiday disappointments over the past couple days. I caught the coronavirus, which has sent my holiday season into a tailspin, thanks to Dave Kaufman, who gave me the COVID-19 virus.
Yeah, I heard he was patient zero with that whole thing.
Well, that's neither here nor there. Certainly, I haven't been perpetuating that on this program over the past week, in which we've had, this is our 5th episode.
Because that's where I heard it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's neither here nor there. No. Joe, you were on your way to Montreal this past Friday to do a holiday-themed show that I was promoting. I was not there, and you were also turned away at the border.
Yeah.
You could have knocked me over with a feather.
For the very first time in my entire life. And think about how many times I've gone over the border. I grew up right on the border.
Yep.
You know? And just in the last 14 years at Montreal Improv, weekly almost, hundreds of times a year.
What was that feeling like when you get turned away and you're like, oh, I'm not going to make it?
I was.
Did you feel gutted in that moment? I've been going through a lot of gutted. Yeah. I've been going through a different gutted feeling every day for the past, since I became COVID positive. There's been a series of moments of guttedness on a level that, and this speaks to the level of how fortunate I am.
Right.
And I'm curious to know
if
you felt that way. You're like, sorry, you can't come in.
Yeah, well, I was angry because it wasn't because of me. It was because of the person who was driving the car. Oh. And when we left Lake Placid, I thought I should drive, but I didn't want to. I was very tired.
Yeah.
And I thought I will be able to rest a little bit because I had 2 shows to do and I wanted to be both of them. I was real excited because one of them was 3PO and we were in the semifinals and I wanted to be in the finals. And the other one was your show and I didn't know you weren't hosting. And I really wanted, I loved that Friday night main event and, and for all sorts of reasons, I wanted to be there. But the person who was driving had brought a series of paintings from a gallery in the back of their Volkswagen station wagon. And on the way up, I said, are those paintings? And anyway, back and forth. I admonished the person, and then I said, okay, we're going to practice what you're going to say at the border. And she was and I was doing it. She goes, this is stupid. I'm not going to do this. And I thought, I need to prep you because this is not going to be easy.
And I'll jump in here. I agree with you as someone that has prepped mistruths.
Yes.
To get across the border.
Yeah. These are not for sale anywhere. Not only are we not selling them in Canada, these aren't for sale.
Yeah. I bought them.
They're mine. I painted them. They're going in my home. I carry them around because I'm so proud of them. I don't know what the story is, but they're not for sale. Anyway, we get there. The person says, how much do these sell for? And I looked at her and I go, they're not for sale, right? And she says, she's bragging now, between 500 to 800 or more each. And I thought, well,
did you know it was over at that moment?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought, we're not going anywhere. And they went through the things and the whole gig. And then, look, the people at the border were nice. They said, we don't think you're going to sell these paintings, but we can't just let them go through. You can't bring things that are actively for sale with you to Canada. They said, you can go to Canada. The car can go to Canada, but the paintings can't go to Canada. And, we're very far from the border. And I thought, we're going home. That's it. It's over. Yeah. And so I was seething. And yet I don't want to be seething because...
Because the person's already feeling bad.
Yeah. And what are you going to do? But, me, I don't like making mistakes. Yeah. But I really don't like when somebody else makes the mistakes because they didn't think ahead. That you know how I am. You just know. So then I had to spend the time. I was also upset because I had to spend the time pretending I wasn't upset. But the person kept apologizing because, they're sorry. And then I had to keep saying, no, it's okay. And then that got to me. And then they insisted on buying me dinner on the way home.
I was about to ask, was there a moment like, why don't we stop and have dinner and make the most of it?
And I thought, I just want to go.
Did you go to dinner?
Yeah.
Oh. Where was it? Was it at like Perkins or?
No, we went to Plattsburgh. Yeah. And there was this place called Arnie's. And it's this real old, no, you'd love it, James.
Okay,
this is the kind of place
I just heard the name and it just like, when you don't want to participate, you're like, okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
Hey, what if we go to Arnie's? On paper, it sounds,
That's it. I go, fine, I'll go to Arnie's. And I got spaghetti with 2 meatballs and 1 sausage on angel hair pasta. They put everything on angel hair. So it's
How was it?
Look, it was garbage, but it was the best kind of Italian.
Yes. Yeah.
It's the kind of Italian food I grew up on, right? Like really bad.
And look, sometimes eating that type of tacky food, I try to explain this to people. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a bad poutine. I don't want a good one. I
No.
kind of want a bit of a janky one, or I just want kind of a crappy burger. There's something about it that pacifies a different type of taste.
Yeah, a real ketchupy burger or whatever.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So I ate it, and I was upset. And you know how I like the carbohydrates are going to calm me down. It did, frankly.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and the bread was terrible, and the butter was like a brick. You know, everything was bad about it.
Was there music? Was it like kind of like low volume Christmas music? You're eating there, like twirling your angel hair pasta, and you hear.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she said, "I'm getting the eggplant parm," and I said, "You really shouldn't, because this is the kind of place that you get spaghetti, you know."
Yeah, get something simple. Keep it simple.
And she said to the waitress, you know, the waitress is this broad who great, right? You know, she comes over, she goes, you know, all right, sit down anywhere, you know, how she had a North Country accent. All right, well, just set yourselves wherever you'd like. And there was a family, and the kids were.
It sounds a little Philly-ish.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what? So at any rate, she says, "And how's your eggplant parmesan?" Like she's at a fine dining. And the woman goes, "Oh, it's great. It's real special." And I thought, yeah, I bet it's special. Anyway, she gets it. It's terrible. Mm-hmm. And part of me was sort of satisfied. I'm like,
yes, of course.
You eat that eggplant. Because for the second time tonight, I told you how to do things. You didn't listen to me. Now you're paying.
Well, it's only up from here for you and me, Joe.
Yeah.
I want to move on. Yeah, I want to move on to the final topic. It's parties. What do you think the do's and don'ts are for a successful Christmas shindig?
Oh, that's interesting. What are the do's and don'ts of a? You mean to give one?
I want to throw one in here as a don't. Don't force people to have the type of fun you want them to have.
Yeah.
Don't set up a bunch of things like, oh, you're gonna do this. I don't want to do that.
You're right. Games. Don't make people play games unless you said, like you have a group of people who like to. There's a small group of people from Montreal Improv, and we love to play games with each other. You know, like party games.
Sure.
So whenever we get together, we know that games is going to be part of the evening. But we all know each other, and we love it. However, I'm not going to use games as a way to create chemistry between people who don't know each other very well.
Yep. Yeah, forced fun is not for me. Like, oh, we're good. Now we're all gonna dance. You have to do this.
Come on.
We're all gonna do this. Yeah.
You know that feeling of being somebody's trying to drag you onto the dance floor?
Yeah, it's not a party, it's their show. It's their show.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't think I'm a stick in the mud. I think I'm a good party guest, but I don't like being forced into anything.
No, me neither. It will make me actively want to lash out.
Yeah.
But just don't do it. Because I don't think anyone actively, I'm going to put the YMCA song on. We all have to dance.
All right, everybody.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a don't. Are there any other don'ts for you, Joe?
I think you have to have more alcohol than you think you need.
Yeah.
And the beer and the white wine has to be cold, cold, cold. Don't think that you can like rush it. You know, meaning you can't be like, oh shoot, you should. Every time a beer comes out, a warm beer goes in. You know what I mean? Now remember, I ran bars and restaurants, so I think you've seen me. I work a bar. I work a party as if I'm working the bar or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Which I've seen you do.
Yeah, and I think it's I think that's the other thing. You should have a bartender.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a believer. This is on the flip side. A do should be. I think you should have complimentary drinks. I think you should provide things for people.
At least some. Oh, by the way, on the list of things that people are bringing to that potluck, you know, the Yankee Swap potluck at my work, one woman put water and juice.
Oh, she'll be a hit.
She's fun.
Mm-hmm.
She's great.
Any other final don'ts on the don't do this at your holiday party?
Don't. Meaning if you're the host or just
could be anything. Could be any type of party foul of any kind.
Yeah. Don't sit down with somebody you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, don't get stuck. How about that? Don't get stuck.
Right. Like if I'm at a party and you're there or whatever, I would love to just like sit down by you so we could talk. But at any moment, I can be like, "I'm all right. I'm out of here," or
Yeah.
or I got to go, or I got to talk to so and so.
Yeah.
But with other people, sometimes you get stuck, and your whole evening is talking to one person.
Yeah, that's when you got to go with the I got to take a leak.
Yeah, you know what I do is I carry 2 beers around, and I just chat, and then as soon as I'm done, I go, "Oh, I gotta find the owner of this one." And
Yeah,
I'm gonna go away.
That's good. Okay, so there's a party tip.
One more thing you can do at a party if you don't want to talk to somebody is keep making them repeat themselves. Like, what's that? Huh? And if you
you're the annoying one.
Yeah.
Huh?
What's that now? Come again.
Yeah. What do you think some of the do's are? The entry point into making your holiday party this season a hit?
As the host or a guest?
Anything.
Okay. I think if you're a host, you have to actively spend time with each person.
Yeah.
You're working
be a host.
The party.
Be a host.
You're working the party.
Yeah.
You know who was the best party host I ever saw in not everybody knows everybody, doesn't matter. But there was this person that we both know who spent time with every single person when the person got there.
Sure.
They spent time and chatted with that person, and then they left that person with a group of people with whom they had already started conversation. It was real genius. I think that's really great. And you should have a music playlist that you've created. Don't put on Spotify.
I love making a Christmas playlist every year.
Yeah. And people will dance given the opportunity.
I feel very skilled at being able to pinpoint the moment when it's like, okay, maybe we don't need Brenda Lee anymore. Yeah. People, it's now time to transition to the fun of things.
And you know what I've noticed is that the fun transition doesn't have to be like, all right, we're going to dance.
No,
a couple of real good sing-along songs.
Yeah.
Are a good transition, and before you know it, people are dancing and singing, and then they're just dancing.
One of my, if not the ultimate transition song to get people going is Shania Twain, "Man, I Feel Like a Woman."
Man, I Feel Like a Woman.
Because it starts, "Let's go, girls."
Yeah.
And then once that chorus hits, man, everyone just gets going.
Also, that one that Backstreet Boys where it goes, "Everybody."
That one, yeah. Spice Girls, "If You Want to Be My Lover." Yeah.
They're corny, but I'm telling you, people like that stuff.
Yep, they do like it.
Yep.
Joe, I hope that you and I see each other and cross paths at various holiday gatherings this year.
I'm going to see you on December 16th, I think.
You will see me on December 16th.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense, yes.
Good.
I don't like it. I love it.
Hey, I love it too. You know why, James?
Why is that?
Because I love you.
You got me before I got you. You got me before I got you. And I could feel it.
You built a building.
I loved every second of it. Joe, we've gone through 5 different topics. We went through work, gifts, parties, family, and disappointment. We ended on a high note, giving people updates on how they can have the optimal Christmas party this year. And we've done it. This is a very Conto Christmas.
Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Is Joe doing his Bill Cosby impression again?
Merry Puddin' Pops. Merry Puddin'.
There you have it, folks. Please keep your drinks away from Joe this holiday season. That's it for us tonight. We're going to be back a week from tonight. It's Blue Christmas, an evening where we discuss nothing but sad Christmas songs. That's Joe. I am James.
Well, tune in.
We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, and of course, be well.